Hey, what's up everyone? In today's video, I'm going to give you a review of my 2016 Lexus RC F. Before I begin the review, I'm going to tell you about the price, how much I paid for it, and the packages included. The sticker price of my RC F brand new was about $80,000. I bought it used for $55,000 with about 650 miles. The car sat in the dealer showroom for a year or so and was used in local promotional events, which explains the low mileage. I think I got a really good deal. It was a bargain. The packages included with my RC F are the Premium Package, Navigation Package with Levinson Sound System, and the Performance Package. I really like the exterior look of the RC F. It's one of those cars you just have to take a second look at. Each time I walk up to my RC F, I'm reminded why I bought it. From the spindle grille, the premium triple beam LED headlamps, the carbon fiber roof and wing, and quad exhaust, to the sound of the 5.0 liter V8 engine at startup. One of the first things I noticed after driving the RC F is how much heat the engine generates. Besides the look and aerodynamics that help the car go faster, the lower front grills and side vents serve a purpose. On the left side you have the oil cooler. On the right side is the trans cooler. The grills and side vents help cool the engine and allow for better airflow out. There's also hood venting that allows heat from the engine to dissipate more easily. To the lower left and right side of the spindle grille are inlets. These inlets allow air to flow through the front wheels. The air that flows through the front wheels helps cool the braking system. In my opinion, the 19-inch hand-polished 20-spoke forged alloy wheels completes the look of the RC F. It gives it a more distinctive look. My RC F comes with orange Brembo 6-piston monoblock calipers with 14.9 slotted ventilated discs at the front, 4-piston monoblock calipers with 13.5 slotted ventilated discs at the rear. The braking is very responsive in all driving conditions. Arguably one of the best views of the RC F is the rear. From the L design of the rear brake lights, to the quad exhaust, to the sculpted sides of the rear bumper. You have parking sensors on the front bumper, as well as the rear bumper. The parking sensors are part of the intuitive parking assist system. Underneath the hood of the RC F is a 5.0 liter 32 valve V8 engine. The V8 engine produces 467 horsepower, 389 pound-feet of torque at 4,800 to 5,600 RPM. It is mated to an 8-speed sport direct shift transmission with steering wheel mounted F-spec paddle shifters. One of the first things I noticed is how smooth the transmission is in manual mode. In terms of gas mileage, the RC F gets 16 miles per gallon in the city and 25 on the highway. Combined is 19 miles per gallon. I've been averaging 17 miles per gallon. I'm not going into too much detail about the engine in the review. I'll do that in future videos. I will say not only does the engine sound good at startup, but sounds even better on the highway. One of the many things I like about the RC F is the amount of trunk space. The amount of trunk space is 10.4 cubic feet. The rear seat backs of the RC F don't fold down. However, you do have this pass-through door. You just lift up by pulling on this latch, which reveals a felt which is attached to a Velcro right above here. And in front of this felt is the center armrest. So to access the interior, all you would do is push forward, revealing the interior. If you never sat inside an RC F, I recommend going to a Lexus dealership and sit in one. The interior of the RC F is something special. The striking design of the high back sports seats and deep bolstering keeps me firmly planted when making turns. The rear seats are high back as well. I've sat inside other sports cars with similar sports seats, but I have to say the RC F is one of the most comfortable I've sat in. The other aspects of the interior that makes it special are the carbon accents on the doors and above the glove box, as well as the Alcantara above the instrument cluster, both doors, center armrests, and the rear passenger armrests. The look and softness of the Alcantara adds luxury to the driving experience. I think the blue contrast stitching on the steering wheel, shifter knob, and both doors, as well as the unique stitching on the leather seats, adds to the interior's visual appeal. Besides the embossed F badge on each headrest, you have F badges within the gauge cluster, steering wheel, the driver and front passenger floor mats, and rear center compartment door. The rest of the interior is not much different from other RC models in terms of the layout of the dash and amount of passenger space. If you're over 5'6", getting into the rear seats will be a challenge. There's not much leg room and headroom. I'm about 5'6", so getting into the back seat of the RC F is not a big deal. Surprisingly, there's plenty of leg room as well as headroom for someone that's below 5'6", but if you're taller, it's going to be a bit of a challenge. The driver and passenger seats both have 10-way power adjustments. Here you have the blind spot monitoring switch, and this is the intuitive parking assist switch. Both of these systems turn on automatically when the car starts up. The intuitive parking assist system utilizes the parking sensors I showed you earlier. And this is the active rear wing switch, which I'll show you how to use later in the video. Power tilt telescope steering wheel. Alright, here you have push button start. On the steering wheel you have the voice activation button here, hands-free phone system buttons here, audio controls, the multi-display buttons here, and this is the vehicle-to-vehicle distance button, which is part of the dynamic radar cruise control, which I'll show you in a few minutes. To the lower right side of the steering wheel is the cruise control lever. This is the on and off button right here. I'm going to turn it on. As I showed you earlier, this is the vehicle-to-vehicle distance control button, which is part of the Lexus Dynamic Radar Cruise Control. I plan to make a separate video about how it works. So let me show you how it looks on the multi-screen display. The Dynamic Radar Cruise Control, along with the vehicle-to-vehicle distance control mode, uses a sensor behind the grille cover. I'll quickly show you some of the settings in the multi-display by using the buttons on the steering wheel. You have your G-force, torque distribution. I'm just clicking up and down. Your history of, I guess, yeah, this is like lap times. Yeah, this is really cool. And you have your tire pressure system, active rear wing position, which is currently off, and you have your settings right here. So you can, I guess, change the language, maintenance system, eco, switch settings. Yep, pop-up display. Oh yeah, this is really cool. Nice. Here you have the lever and controls for the headlights, as well as the lever and controls for the windshield. Interior storage compartments of the RC F include a storage compartment underneath the center armrests. Here you have a 12-volt socket, as well as an aux port and 2 USB ports. You also have the glove box. The dome lights are touch sensitive. And there's an SOS button for emergencies. My RCF comes with a backup camera and backup monitor with dynamic grid lines. As I mentioned earlier, my Lexus RCF does have the navigation system with Levinson Sound System. By hitting the menu button above the touchpad, it gives you the different settings for climate, navigation, the Lexus app, information, radio, media, phone, and the setup. So by touching the touchpad here, you can click navigation. The Lexus RCF has several different drive modes: Normal, Eco, Sport S, and Sport S Plus. To go to Eco, all you do is turn the drive selector switch to the left for Sport S, turn it to the right for Sport S Plus, turn it to the right again, and to go back to normal, just push down. One of the cool things I like about my RCF is when selecting the different drive modes, the instrument cluster's layout changes. I'm going to turn the drive mode selector switch to the left. The Eco indicator turns on. I'm going to push down. Goes back to normal. I'm going to turn it to the right. Goes to Sport S. Turn it to the right again. Sport S Plus. My RCF comes with TVD, Torque Vector Differential. It is included with the performance package. To cycle through the different TVD modes, all you do is press this TVD button. Let me show you how that looks on the instrument cluster. Here you have solemn, track, and back to standard. The way the TVD system works is it distributes driving force, torque, between the right and left rear wheels automatically, which contributes to enhanced steering response while cornering and increased traction while exiting a corner. One of the really cool things I like about my RCF is the active rear wing. It automatically activates and retracts while the car is being driven. The active rear wing enhances aerodynamic performance, especially at high speeds for a more stable ride. For example, in normal and sport mode, it activates at 50 miles per hour and retracts at 25 miles per hour. In eco mode, it activates at 80 miles per hour and retracts at 25 miles per hour. When activated, the active rear wing turns green in the instrument cluster and the indicator light turns on within the active rear wing switch. The active rear wing can be controlled manually by using the active rear wing switch. With my RCF in the park position, I'm going to press the switch, the indicator turns on, the rear wing turns green in the multi-display screen, and the rear wing activates. To retract the wing, I press and hold the switch for a few seconds. The indicator light turns off and the rear wing retracts. I'm going to wrap up today's review of my 2016 RCF. As I mentioned earlier in the review, each time I walk up to my RCF, I'm reminded why I bought it. This is such a cool car to own. I didn't cover every single thing about the car in this review. I plan to do that in future videos. I hope you liked this video. Until next time, I'll see you at the next video.